mums, today I am going to put together a pasta bake for tonight's dinner using leftover mince, and I'm also going to freeze a lasagna for later. So I've got the pasta boiling, which is explanatory, pasta, water, boil. But I'm going to make a quick, I don't know, we call it a bechamel sauce. I don't know if that's the technical word or if the technical word is a cheese sauce. So yeah, because all this mince here for us, it's a lot. So instead of wasting it, may as well make it into 2 new meals. And yes, it's got, you know, nacho seasonings in it, but the kids won't mind that. On top of the pasta bake, we'll do some cheese and we'll crumple up some corn chips. And the lasagna will just make like a lasagna and it will still taste good. So to make our quick cheese sauce, we take our pan. Now there's probably specific measurements that you can use to make this. However, I tend to just go off what I think because I've been making this sauce a long time. So I'm going to use a blob of butter to melt in the pan, like so, and I'll use a whisk just to melt it down. Now I'll just grab a fork for that pasta. Here we are. Let's give this pasta a bit of a poke so as to not get it stuck to the bottom. And I'm going to get a dish that I'm going to put that pasta in. Here we go. Glass dish that will make that part. Actually, that one's got a bit of a crack on it. Let me just get another one. Here we go. And we've got a dish to make a pasta bake. Now, I know it looks small, but kids don't eat much and I don't eat much, as I've said before. So it's plenty big for us, as well as, you know, by the time we add in a piece of fruit and some yogurt or something, there'll be plenty of food. Right, so our butter is melting. Melting. Move that out of the way. Melting in the pan here. So yeah, I don't know what your kids have been up to today, but in Queensland, where I am, southeast Queensland, the Premier decided to close the schools because she thought there was going to be a massive storm roll through. And what do you know? There was no storms. There was a grey sky, not a drop of rain. And so my kids stayed home all day for no reason. So they're currently on their iPads while I cook. And then they've been entertaining themselves doing ice challenges. You know, one copies the other. If the other one doesn't copyright, they have to tip ice on their body, so that's been fun. And then they've just asked if they can play hide and seek, which happens to be one of the most interesting, one of the things that they really like to do. So we'll do that once we finish boiling up this pasta. Now, because I'm going to cook the pasta bake into the oven, once it's all combined, there's no need to overcook that pasta. So you can just do it until it's soft, because once it's in the oven, it will continue to bake. So our butter is nice and melted and bubbling away there. And there's a combination of 1 tablespoon of flour to 1 cup of milk, because we don't need too much bechamel sauce. So just plain flour. Now I do a heaped teaspoon like so. In there. Just cut me off because the school alarm went off to go get the kids. So I put 1 tablespoon of plain flour in here in the butter, and you just whisk it around like so. And then you get your cup of milk. So just 1 cup of milk. You can use whatever milk you prefer. I prefer full cream milk. I'll just pop that over there. And then you just add it in slowly. Like so. And you keep whisking as you go, because otherwise what happens is you get lumps. So you just do a little bit at a time, and you can see Just going to work all those lumps out. Take it off the heat and then you can add it in slowly, like so. I realise I say so a lot. So. There we go, whisking that away. Super quick and easy. We'll add some salt. I'll just turn the heat down because you don't want to burn the milk. Salt and some pepper. I mean, it's the other way around, pepper and salt. And then I like to put onion powder. I basically put salt, pepper, onion powder and garlic powder in everything that I cook because I think it adds a good flavour. So just a shake. I'm going to let that thicken up a little bit. Now the idea is with milk, if it doesn't keep moving in the pot, it will burn. So don't go too fast, don't leave it alone, turn the heat down and just keep giving it a whisk to make sure that it doesn't burn and stick to the bottom because that's when you have problems. Put the lid on that. So this is how it's looking. And as you can see, the black bits are just bits of pepper, so I use the cracked pepper. Just keep mixing. Might turn it up a little bit just to get it going. Now cheese-wise, for me, I like cheese, so I would normally put, say if I've done 1 cup of milk, I do half a cup of cheese. And I am just going to tip in here.
Mummy?
Some tasty cheese, yes mate.
Mummy?
Yes mate.
Can I have some juice?
You can have a cup of juice with dinner. What would you like now while you wait?
I want some water.
Maybe have a drink of water. Good idea. Right, mixing in the cheese. So now you can see the cheese is melting pretty quick. Super cheesy sauce. I'll just pop the lid of that to the side, like so. Keep mixing. And I might just add a tiny bit more cheese because, you know, cheesy sauce is pretty tasty. So, if you can see in there, that's my bechamel. I'm just going to turn it off now. The water is, the empty jug's in the sink. You're going to have to fill it up. So that's the bechamel sauce. So now we've got everything we need to put together our lasagna. So foil tray, and then these lasagna sheets, they're just a tiny bit too, you can see, a tiny bit too long here. Sterling's trying to, the jug's empty, darling, you have to fill it up at the sink. So what you can do, let's see if this works, is get a knife. Nope, that's not going to work. Get your fingers and just snap it off at the end until it gets to the size that you want. I'm going to start with just taking that bechamel off the heat. Grab a spoon. Right, I'm going to start with some bechamel in the bottom for the lasagna to stick to, the lasagna sheet to stick to. Let me adjust that down for you so you can see. There you go. Bechamel on the bottom. Spread it out with your spoon. As such, lasagna sheet. Getting what I was up to there. And these little broken bits of lasagna sheet, there's no use wasting them. You can just pop them in. Pop them in at the edges, like so. Then we're going to do a layer of the meat. So we just spread some meat out there. That's it. Like so. Now, my kids, they like really thin layers, so I'm not going to put too much meat there. And you can see the nacho beans from the 4-bean mix that weren't completely blended. And here, just snap off the ends of the sheets here, like so. And then pop that in. The broken bits in the side. And then these little bits you can just whack in the ends. All goes down. And then we'll do a little bit more bechamel. I know you're thinking crazy combination with the nachos. I'm just going to turn that pasta off now. I don't want to overcook it because it'll just make a soggy pasta bake. And bechamel, and then I'm going to do some cheese. And then another layer of sheet. As such. There we go. And then just pop those broken bits in. And then one more layer of meat. And I'm just going to do a super thin one here. Because I'm saving the rest to go into the pasta bake. So this meal I'll pop in the freezer, and it will be for a night where I couldn't be bothered cooking. You know, like you get home or you've had a big day at work, or I don't know, I'm not working, I'm on maternity leave at the moment, but you know, you've had a big day, you don't want to cook. Say for example, one night a week we do swimming lessons after school. Oh, thanks buddy. So we go, you know, straight from school to the pool. Or when I get home, sometimes I'm tired, I don't want to cook. You know, like us mums, we don't want to cook all the time. So it's good to have something up your sleeve. Right, last layer, we'll put all the bechamel sauce in here. Like that. Spread it out. Out to the sides. That's it. So this will be enough to feed us, which will be good. Just get those last little bits out. 5-year-olds. What you gonna do? Look out, because remember the stovetop is hot.
I'm calling you.
Someone is calling me, and I'm sure it will wait. And then we'll just do some more cheese on the top. Okay, so we've got more cheese on the top. There we go. And then, because it's a bit hot from the bechamel sauce, I'm going to set it aside and wait for it to cool, and then I'll wrap it completely in foil and I'll label it. So basically that's it there. So we've got bechamel sauce, a lasagna sheet, which I just use the dried lasagna sheets. You could use fresh if you wanted fresh. Meat, lasagna sheet, bechamel sauce, cheese, lasagna sheet, meat, lasagna sheet, bechamel sauce and cheese. So this will feed the 3 of us easily. Now I'm going to drain off this pasta. Like so. Just put it in the drainer. And then what I might do actually, I want to use this pot. And I'm going to put the meat in here, the leftover meat that we're going to have with our dinner tonight. Just warm it up a bit. Mix it around just to spread it out a bit. And then add in a little bit of the pasta. Mix it up. Like so. A little bit more of the pasta. Oh no. Right, that'll do. Now, just going to tuck it into the dish. Ready for tonight.
You're talking to Mummy.
I'm talking to my phone. I'm making a video. So, pop that in there, pop that in there. Give it a little push. Just move this stuff out of our way. Right. Just give this a quick little wipe. There we go. Right, so we've got all of our things in here. We've got the meat, we've got the pasta, some cheese on the top. Oh, could you shut the fridge please, darling? Sprinkle some cheese on the top. Like so. I always grate my own cheese because it's just cheaper that way. If you buy a big block and just grate it as you need it. You know, saves you some money, which is always good. There we go. And when I serve it, because it's nacho style mince, I'll crush up some corn chips to go on the top as well. Yes. Oh, it's a very sharp knife. Could you put it back, please?
What is this kid's knife?
No, that's not a kid's knife. That's a very sharp knife for cutting. Pop it back.
I'm trying to find a different knife.
Make some pasta. Right, we'll get the foil. Okay, so I'll set these aside to cool down. And then once they're cooled down a bit, I'll wrap them up in foil, ready for later when we're going to heat our dinner and ready to pop in the freezer for another night when I don't feel like cooking. Okay, so they've cooled down enough now. I'm just going to give them a quick wrap up in some foil. And I like to, when I'm freezing them, put it underneath like that, over the top, crunch it around the edge. Like that, and then I'm going to do one more layer of foil, just to make sure, which way, I'll go this way, the opposite way, just to make sure the edges are nice and sealed, and there's not going to be any problems. And then I'll just get my textile and I'll write on there what it is. I'm going to call it nacho lasagna. Nacho lasagna. And today is the 3rd of the 3rd. So that's ready for the freezer. And then the one that we're having for our dinner tonight, I'm not going to be so precious about. Just going to wrap it around like this. Chuck that in the fridge, and then we're good to go. So, okay, so the time has come to heat the dinner, ready for tonight. So this is what we prepared earlier. Just going to unwrap it. I've got the oven on, and because it's early still, dinner's a little while away, I've put it on a very low setting, because really we're just heating the food and melting the cheese, we're not actually cooking it. So if I put it on a low setting, I've just put it on 100. That way I know I can put it in the oven, and when we're ready to eat, it will be nice and warm. So we've got our mince and our cheese there. I'm just going to put some broken up corn chips on top, because remember the mince is like a taco seasoning flavour. Just crush them up, and they'll mix in with the cheese and melt in nicely. Try not to make a huge mess like me. A little bit more. And there we go. See how that comes out. I'll just eat these extra ones. Right. Pop that in. Oh, pop that in the oven. And then it'll be and we're ready to eat. So I'll pop back and I'll show you when it's all cooked, ready to dish out. Okay, so it's time to get the pasta out of the oven. Let's see how it's going. Oh yeah, looks good. So the cheese is melty and the corn chips are there. Hold it up close so you can see. There you go. Now watch me dish it up messily because I'm pretty messy. Let's face it. I'm gonna turn this oven off like so. Now we'll get a big spoon. We'll get the plates nice and close because I'm gonna make a mess here. What they're gonna have, and 9 times out of 10 they'll eat the ice cream first, then they'll eat the pasta, and then they'll go to the fruit, but they will have a bit of everything. Oh, my son just told me I forgot to say subscribe and like my channel because I believe that helps. So yeah, oh, and sharing. Subscribe, share and like. Thank you so much. All right, goodbye mums.